Welcome to K-Drama Divas, a podcast and community for passionate fans of Korean dramas. Join us as we explore the captivating world of K-dramas, discussing the latest releases, timeless classics, and everything in between. Whether you're a seasoned K-drama addict or just stepping into this addictive realm, get ready to laugh, cry, and fangirl with the K-Drama Divas. Greetings from your K-Drama Divas from the beautiful Northwest. My name's Amanda, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host.
Hi, I'm Serena.
Hi, I'm Maureen.
How's it going?
Good. Glad to be here with you guys again.
Before we get started with our synopsis of the second half of Business Proposal, I wanted to check in with you guys and see if you've heard any interesting K-drama news.
I have Song Joong-ki. He is one of my favorite actors. He was the star of Vincenzo and Descendants of the Sun. He has got a new one coming out, and I think it might be this weekend.
Wow.
A
Yeah.
drama?
I don't know. I think it might be a movie, but I think it's on Netflix.
Well,
So-
it's not a drama. I want a drama.
I've heard it's very good.
So it's
He's-
more like a movie?
It might be a movie. I was thinking it would be a regular drama, but I heard it was a movie. All I know is he plays a North Korean and he's in Sweden. He wants to get citizenship there. And it is a romance too.
It sounds really interesting. I haven't seen many Korean movies, but I might be willing to give it a try for Vincenzo.
Yes. And then also Kim Soo-young has a new one coming out, Queen of Tears.
Who's Kim Soo-young?
He was a star of It's Okay to Not Be Okay.
Nice. I like him too.
Yes.
I've seen. I don't know if I've seen him in anything besides It's Okay to Not Be Okay. I don't know what else he's been in, but
I know he's the highest paid actor.
really?
Yes.
So what's he going to be in?
Queen of Tears.
Oh, I haven't heard.
When is that coming out?
And that might be coming out, I think, the following weekend.
Okay, so it's time in March.
Yes, around the 8th or 9th, I think.
We'll have to keep our eyes open for that. I don't know if I heard this week that they are about to release another season of Jenny's Kitchen, which isn't exactly a K-drama.
I have never seen it because I don't have the right streaming app, so
Oh,
I have never been able to watch it.
maybe you could borrow someone's or just come over. I didn't say that, Amazon Prime. Jenny's Kitchen is really
Oh, it's so good.
I don't know if I would say it's so good. I mean, it's good. It's good. It's not a drama. It's reality TV.
Okay.
And my husband Michael and I joke that it's the most boring show in the world, but we can't stop watching. We love it.
Oh, guilty pleasure.
They have this pop-up kitchen somewhere in the world
Okay.
where Korean food isn't as common. And there's all these actors that are the cooks and the servers, and they run the restaurant. And nobody really understands or knows who's serving them. Some people are like, oh, I recognize you. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not, a lot of people don't.
Yes, that's
Well,
true.
who was on last season of?
But last season
Oh,
we did because Kim Tae-hung was on there, V from BTS, and a lot of people recognized him.
My mom obsessed over V.
But it's Park Seo-joon has
Yeah.
always been on the show, and it used to be what was her name? Yoon's Kitchen.
I never saw that one, but
Yeah.
I did obsess over Park Seo-joon. I do love him. He was in Secretary Kim.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
And a Tallinn class,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that
and
one.
she was pretty.
That one?
Mhm.
Yes.
So imagine him making all your food. He worked so hard.
Yes.
I think the pop-up only lasts like a week, but they're very dramatic about it. Or maybe it's a few weeks.
No, I don't think
don't
it's
really
longer
know.
than 2 weeks.
Yeah, but they work hard, and
Yeah.
there's just something I don't know, it's relaxing to lay in bed and watch them make ramen and kimbap.
But you have to be laying in bed.
Yeah. I don't know why I like it. I
Okay.
don't, it's not a huge level of excitement. It's seriously watching them make tons of food.
I think I heard that they're going to film in March next month, but I heard it was it might be a K-pop girl singer. I don't know,
Oh,
but I'm disappointed because actually I know I'm being ridiculous, but I was hoping it would be the guy from Dubong Soon, because
really?
there's two others in the Wooga Squad, but
Oh, she's
Oh,
talking about the Wooga Squad
I
again.
know.
Let's take a quick moment. Could you explain what the Wooga Squad is to maybe us again? Because I always forget, and maybe
Too.
some of the listeners that have no idea what you're speaking.
okay, they call themselves the Wooga Squad, which I think Wooga might mean family or something to do with family. And it's five guys, Park Seo-joon and Park Hung Suk or Suk or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm butchering his name. Choi Woo-sik and Peak Boy, who's a rapper, and then V, who is Kim Tae-hung from BTS.
Okay, and so they're all called the Wooga Squad.
Yes.
The second person you mentioned, who was it?
Park Hung Suk,
Who's that?
he's the guy from Dubong Soon.
Oh, okay. My favorite. I have to remember his name.
So I did just Google the Wooga, and it is short for the Korean phrase "worry ga ga go inga." I know I just totally butchered that, but it literally means "Are we family?" So
Aw,
you're right. Yeah.
that's really sweet that
Uh-huh.
they
Very
call
sweet.
themselves Wooga
Yeah.
Squad. Okay. Okay. So yeah, Jenny's Kitchen, if you haven't watched it, give it a try. You'll think, why am I watching this? But you might find it kind of charming like me. I do. I just
So maybe I will try hard to watch it, and when we do our next podcast, I'll have something to say about it.
yes, yes. Come over and I'll show you some
Yes, you
episodes.
need to watch last
Okay.
year's.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
All right. So, the last half of Business Proposal, we're going to be discussing basically episodes 7 through 12. Disclaimer, there may be some spoilers in this episode. So, if you haven't seen Business Proposal, you may want to watch it, but some people don't mind spoilers, so keep on listening if that's you. How would you guys describe the last half of Business Proposal? What did you think?
I think the last half of Business Proposal focuses more on President King's pursuit of the real Hari and trying to get their relationship to go in the right direction and work
Mhm.
and overcome a lot of obstacles that are kind of thrown in their direction. A lot of it, I think, because of the issue of class, the different levels of class that they're both in, and the grandfather, who is the chairman, who absolutely loved Hari when she was pretending to be the best friend.
Or the friend of I don't know.
I don't remember her
No.
name.
Or
Goom.
I know I should have written it down somewhere, but
I don't know.
yeah.
yeah, but
Goomy.
like
We'll call her Goomy.
yeah, he loved her as that persona that she was being on because she was portraying rich
Uh-huh.
and like she came
Yes.
from a prestigious background.
Yeah.
But then as he realizes who she
Well,
really is as her real person within the company, he doesn't like her because of
the
going
way
back to the
yes.
bathroom scene and the interactions in the elevator when he runs across her, and then the other bathroom scene in the actual company bathroom. So he has a lot of reasons not to like
Yes.
the real person, but he loves the pretend person. And
Yes.
so overcoming those obstacles um, takes up a lot of time.
It does. And in the chairman's defense, she does act very awkwardly
Yes.
and
Yes.
sometimes inappropriately
Yes.
towards him just because she's trying to hide who she really is.
Right. And they are two different personalities,
Hmm.
but at the heart of them, they're the same.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I don't know. Okay, we talked a lot about the bathroom scene, but the bathroom scene that really kind of ruins it for Hari. They're at this company event park and she's in the bathroom talking on the phone and the chairman has to use the bathroom really badly and he knocks on the door and when she realizes it's him, she won't come out
Right.
because Hari's convinced he's gonna realize that I've been posing as Gumi,
Right.
since we don't know her real name, Gumi with the wig and all the makeup.
Right.
And I'm thinking he'll never know. I don't know.
Right.
But she,
Not even President King, and he was up close to both of them.
I know. So she's freaking out in the bathroom. She won't open the door. And this dude, the chairman, really is, he's got to go.
Right.
And so
His
fine.
tummy is not happy.
No, and he's pounding on the door, and
And he knows it's her in
yeah.
there.
And he's like, "What is wrong with this awkward employee?"
Right.
And finally, he pulls open the door. She lets it go, and he goes flying very dramatically off a step, and she
He's got his arm out.
yes, like
Help me.
he's saying, "Save me, catch me," and Hari goes in like she's going to grab his hand, and then out of fear, she pulls back and lets him fall to the ground. Oh, it's a
I've
mortifying
heard
scene.
that a lot of people were upset in Korea about that scene
Why?
because of him falling on the ground like that. They said
Like
it
it's
was
totally
not,
disrespectful.
yes, it was very disrespectful.
Wow.
And so I think the writer had to come in and say something about that.
And that's interesting because this was in 2022, released in 22, right? And you would
Mhm.
think it's more a more modern day that that wouldn't still be
Mm.
something, but obviously it is. Obviously those some of those traditions are very deeply rooted and strong within the culture, which I think is great.
Yes, I do too. And it does make you wonder because I was just thinking about that, you bringing up that it was in 2022, because there are themes of that class and that social structure type theme in this. And it just kind of makes you wonder is that you think after time passes, it wouldn't be such a big deal, but
Right.
it might still be a big deal.
Right.
Or this could just be drama land. I don't know.
Right. But I think, because then I think of it compared to the United States,
Hmm.
and I think that still goes on here at some level.
Yeah,
I think it's a little more acceptable nowadays, but I think some classes are still
that's
very
true.
separate from because I think they don't have the interaction with the common folk.
Mhm. Us commoners.
Yes. Oh no.
In a way, I felt like the second half of Business Proposal could be almost be a different drama. It was so different than the
Really?
first half to me. I mean, it was still good. It was still good, but really, I mean, I felt like it could have ended at episode 10.
Interesting.
And I think that's because there's always part of me that doesn't like a lot of conflict and sadness. And so 11 and 12 were not my cup of tea.
Remind me of 11 and 12 off the top
So
of the head.
I think 11 was filled with a lot of obstacles regarding like the fact that Hari worked for the same company and a lot of issues with the chairman. Although he
Okay.
does start opening up to her. His heart, so he wants to have a hard heart against her,
Yeah.
but you can tell when she visits him in the hospital and tries to spend time with him, he'll start smiling and then he'll
Right.
remember, I'm not supposed to like
Right.
her.
Or she sings and he taps his foot to her singing because he loves her singing.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Him so just like heartwarming,
Right.
the chairman, despite it all.
Right.
But I
In
just,
the end.
in the end, I just didn't like those scenes of conflict. But that's me. But I guess if a drama and a story was all just butterflies and rainbows,
Then it wouldn't be fun to watch either,
I know,
right? Yeah.
no, probably
And
not.
it makes me that talking about the conflict and not liking it is when they had to visit the chairman's house for dinner. And she mentions that that he went out in the rain to rescue her, something along those lines. And that was probably the one time where he was not really happy with her because of the backstory of the rain.
Mhm.
And that whole scene kind of made me really sad
Oh.
just because, I mean, I felt bad for him and I felt bad for her because she thought she was doing a great thing and doing what she was supposed to do. But because of the inner turmoil with that rain, it really affected him in a different way. So, yeah. That was probably the worst conflict for me in the story was that. And it wasn't really conflict, it was just I think
Mm-hmm.
he was torn. He didn't know what to do. So, he was hurt.
Right.
He was hurt.
Right.
That makes sense. Aw.
Right. I do like, you don't know if it's episode 6 though, but I do like how President King, he wants to start dating her, but he knows that he has to in such a way where she does not know that it's like he plans this date, but he doesn't want her to think it's a
Right.
date.
Mhm.
So
Right.
he's telling her it's a work weekend or something. And he takes her down to this beach area.
Well, could I back up? First, he's all dressed up and he's so excited. And then she gets in and insists on driving. So she's the employee, and that kind of sets off the tone of the whole thing, right? Oh my word, that was hilarious.
So funny because she's completely oblivious.
Absolutely.
Completely
Yes.
oblivious to his intentions.
Yes, yes.
But he does manage to work it back to that. So they wind up walking along the beach, and there is the
cart.
truck, the
Yeah.
truck that he had hired for the day.
Right.
And so she sees it and runs up to it. But
Yes. And I love that scene because the food truck owner says something about, are you going to tell her that you had me come here just for her? And he was so, what do I want to say? Humble.
yes,
That he didn't want her to know that.
Right.
And I love that scene. I thought that was
Yes,
great.
yeah.
That really was a great
And it shows his heart. His heart was so pure and so
Mhm.
true.
It's
Mhm.
true.
And his love for her. Yeah.
He just wanted to make her happy. He
Right.
didn't want to take credit for it.
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that I love that we're talking about what we like because episode 7 is my favorite. It's
Okay.
my favorite out of all the episodes. And even though like the second half isn't as exciting to me, episode 7, so cute. So cute and so fun. It's when they're on their business trip and they end up a series of unfortunate events. I don't know. I don't want to explain it all, but they end up at the hotel and Hari runs into her friends.
Right.
Hari and her best friend had made up a story that Hari had a boyfriend. And so they thought she was there with her boyfriend. And she had gotten separated from President Kong for that moment. King. I don't honestly still don't know how to say his name.
We're sorry.
We're sorry. And we might have been pronouncing it wrong this whole time. It's a mystery to all of us. We should ask Google. But he just, when they're saying, "Oh, where's your boyfriend?" he magically appears.
And
And
they're kind of thinking that she doesn't have a boyfriend too.
Mhm.
And even though they're friends, I think even before this part, they really looked down on her
Mhm.
again because I don't think she financially was at the same level as them,
Mhm.
but they went to school together.
Basically frenemies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they do look down on her and they don't really want her best.
Right.
They don't want the best
No.
for her
Right.
at all. It's very
Absolutely.
sad.
It is.
But what happens, Mom? You're really good at describing it.
Well, she's there talking to them, and all of a sudden she hears, "Hi, babe," and it's President Kang, and he's walking towards her, and she is looking at him in shock.
Yeah.
She cannot believe it because her last interaction with him, he dumped her. He dropped her off
On the side of the road
on
in
the
the
side
rain.
of the road in the rain.
It's not as mean as it sounds.
Kind of.
And
Kind of.
And now all of a sudden he's shown up at the hotel and he's walking towards her and she can't believe it. She's thinking, what? What did he say?
Mhm. And he basically rescues her
Right.
from a very awkward, uncomfortable
And
situation.
he obviously must have overheard what so-called friends were saying to her
Mhm.
because of the way he approached her, calling her babe, and just walked up and
Mhm.
basically
Mm-hmm.
took her in his arms and you know
Mhm.
was Prince Charming.
Yeah, helped her save face,
Yeah.
really, and he revels in the moment. He
Yeah.
loves playing the
Yes.
part of her boyfriend,
Yes.
and Hari is still clueless.
Yes.
She doesn't understand, and maybe that's why I love it because he's so smitten
Yes.
and he cares so much about her, and she's just like she doesn't get it, and it's so funny to watch.
Right.
And so he decides to treat all her friends to a meal and he just wants to play the part. He's like, what part should I play? He says, show off my wealth, show off your wealth. And he holds out a card and he's like, my love for you is like this card, no limit,
Yes.
no limits at all. And he says, act clingy. And then three, like, be loyal like a dog. It's so funny, but he does all three. I don't know if it's a group of three or four friends, but most of them are just like, they love him.
Right.
They're amazed. And then
Totally
the one
jealous.
friend, the chef's girlfriend, is so jealous and
Yes.
angry
Yeah. Yes.
because Hari did better than her.
Right.
So,
Right.
And he upgraded their hotel room. Do you remember that?
Right.
oh,
He
yes.
did.
Yes.
He did.
And honestly, the episode just keeps getting better because
Yes.
then the next day, the chef friend shows up, the one that Hari had previously been in love with for 7 years. And he's just stunned because he knows that President Kong is who
Who
he
he is.
is, that
Yeah.
he owns this company, and he's just shocked that Hari could be involved with someone like him. And they end up all together on a fishing boat.
Funny part.
And there's this tension and power struggle between the chef and President Kang, and they're both trying to catch the most fish. It's
To impress her.
yes, they both are. They're fighting over her in the most ridiculous way
Yeah.
ever. And Hari ends up getting, I don't know, a little motion sickness or
Right. Seasick.
seasick, and
He is sick over in the corner.
Yeah.
He's just fishing away. He doesn't even notice her because he's
Neither one of them do.
yes,
Yeah.
he's so busy wanting to catch fish.
Right. And I think the girls, the friends that were there, were so busy watching the guys that really nobody
Right.
noticed that she was not doing well.
I know. And so then when President King finally gets a clue, he just drops the fishing, immediately wants to take her to the hospital because that's what you do in Korea when you're,
Right.
you know,
Have a hangnail.
anything. Anything. We should have all been at the hospital today for something or other. But I mean, he just drops everything and he's so upset that he didn't notice.
Right.
And he
Right.
cares so much about her. And I think this is the episode where he confesses too about how much he likes her and cares about her. And I don't need an answer now, but
Right.
And he makes the mistake of saying that.
Right.
yeah.
Right. Right.
He regrets it later because he does not like to waste time.
He wanted an answer right then. But I think you're right. I think that that episode really is,
Mm-hmm.
we mentioned earlier, turning point,
Mhm.
but I think that was a turning point
Yes.
too. Another one
Yes.
in towards the final product. But I think that is a really great, that whole,
Oh, yeah. I could watch it every time. It's my favorite one.
yeah.
My favorite one.
You never think about what episode is my favorite, but when you break it down like that,
Huh.
I agree with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Episode 7?
Yeah.
All in the
We're all in the same boat.
Okay.
And
Okay.
episode 8 is good too because that's when, well, she finally realizes that she likes him, that she cares about him a whole lot. She doesn't want him to go on another blind date.
Right.
And she keeps hearing from all of the coworkers that he's got a big blind date set up.
Yeah.
and she's not happy.
Yeah. What episode? So I know it spans a couple different ones. One is when Hari's brother runs into him and meets him, and then President Kang, kind of right away takes him under his wing, and is calling him brother or something, Yeah. But then when the parents realize who he is and what's going on and everything, and
Well,
because
they think he's Mr. Hi.
Mr. Guy. Guy.
My gosh, he's such a funny actor.
Oh, he is.
Oh, and you know what? He can play a variety of roles because he can play a bad guy really good too. I've seen him in a couple other dramas where he's bad guy.
really,
Yeah,
wow.
and he's convincing. He's convincing. But I love him playing comedy like this. He
Right.
is so good.
Yeah. I think in our last podcast, I mentioned how Hari's character, how there's physical comedy
Right.
that she does, but Mr. Guy,
Oh,
his physical comedy is even better. His facial expressions, everything he does, you can tell he plays such a dramatic character. He's kind of over the top, right?
yes. And I actually love all of them that work with her in that one little office that they have, the other three. But I love her supervisor or manager. And then him, he's the assistant manager, I think, because he hasn't made manager yet. And the two of them, you never really think about them being together,
Right.
but you realize he has always given her marinated crabs and what's the other thing he gives her?
I forget.
Chicken gizzards, I
Yeah,
think,
something like that. Yeah.
that and so they go out for drinks after I think the company, oh my gosh, what was that when they had the company,
Field day?
no, they had a company, what do you call that, where they were,
They were giving the award to her.
no, it's like they had the exercises, I don't
The
know.
field day.
Oh
No.
no, when they did the games, because the
Games,
winner of it was dodgeball. And
Yes,
the winner of the
dodgeball.
dodgeball game got to have
Yes,
her dinner date with President.
that one.
This is just dodgeball, and
It was
she
just
hurts herself.
That's right.
But anyway, after dodgeball, I think they went out for drinks, just the two of them, the manager and the assistant manager.
Right.
And he hears her, she answers her phone, and I guess there's a blind date that
Right.
she's forced into basically. And so he starts eating the chicken gizzards.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Why are you eating those? I didn't think you liked them." And he says, "Well, I might as well eat them."
Right. Right.
And he says, "Don't go on that blind date." And that's how they
Yeah.
get together.
He said, I've always liked them. I
Yeah.
just left them for you.
And see, and I have a different take because from the get-go, I thought there was something going on between them
Really?
because of the way that they bantered and bickered back and forth. It was almost like a tension, not like a unhidden love affair tension, between them. So I
Uh-huh.
was not surprised that they kind of had a thing for each other because I kind of saw that part from the get-go.
I wasn't surprised either. But my question is about their whole relationship because you think it was after the game day.
Mhm.
But my question is when Hari and President Kang went to the movies
Mhm.
on the work
Yes.
movie, like food researcher
Right.
movie date that she didn't know was a date, and they run into Mr. Guy and the supervisor, were they on a date?
Right.
Yes.
So,
But that was before the
the games.
Was it?
It
Uh-huh.
was.
It was.
It was. So were they on a date or not? But I guess we'll never really know.
I think they were.
Oh, yes, they were. And I remember the last time I watched that particular episode, if you look at Mr. Guy, he does not look happy that they have to stay in there with her.
Oh.
He kind of, I don't know, when you focus on his face, he doesn't really look happy.
But maybe that's because he likes her.
Right. And he wanted to be one-on-one with her.
Yeah, and the supervisor was clueless,
Right.
maybe. Or was she just trying to hide their
Right.
romance?
Exactly. Because she seems like she's more into hiding it than he is. Whatever's going on between them.
Yes, that's true. He wants the world to know.
Yes.
She doesn't want anyone to know. That was a cute relationship.
Mhm.
So I don't know what else you want to say about 11 and 12, but what I want to say, I'm going to bring up something totally random
Okay.
about business proposal. And it's all throughout. It runs throughout the whole drama, really, is the product placement. Because I find product placements in Korean dramas so funny.
Yes.
And I love it. I love their product placement.
Yes.
And so in this drama, I didn't catch this the first couple times I watched it, probably because I didn't know, I didn't recognize it. But in Go Foods, they have Bibigo products, which are everywhere here. So I don't
Yes.
know if they were a thing in 2022, but they are now. I mean, you can buy it at Fred Meyer, Safeway,
Mhm.
grocery outlet,
Right.
Costco, everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere.
Mhm.
So I find that really funny. And also the purple Samsung flip phones in there. Oh my goodness. Product placement has never worked so well on me. I'm not obsessed with phones, but I needed that purple flip phone.
You both needed that purple flip phone. And you both have that purple flip phone.
We have our flip phones right now in our hands. Yeah, we changed phone carriers, just to get it for free because it's so cute and I love it. I love the flip phone. So
They also had the pink tube, the
Kind of the everything, isn't that
oh
what that
my
is?
gosh, yes.
she just pulled it out of her purse.
And you
It
can
is the hydration stick.
And she's applying it to her face. If you could see her now, doesn't work.
you know what? I don't know, but I love it.
So even if it turns her face green and purple, she's still going to use it because their product placement ads are so good.
Well,
They
my
are
skin,
good.
you know.
But do you use it consistently? Because you've had it
No.
a while,
Yes.
so.
Have you had it a while?
Yes.
But this reminded you of it.
Yes. I carry it in my purse.
I love it.
Aw. Yeah, the product placement really worked well on us.
Well, and I am not a coffee drinker. Do not like the smell of coffee.
Oh, I love it.
But in a lot of them, I don't know if it's all of them, and a lot of them, they have those,
Copico.
what's the
Oh.
brand? The
Espresso.
Nespresso.
Yes.
The machines, and then the really cool pods. And boy, when they make that, it makes you want to drink it.
Yes.
As long as it didn't taste like coffee, I'd be great. But makes you want to go buy one.
Yes.
Hot tea. They probably
It
have
wouldn't be
one.
the same.
I know. It wouldn't.
Or they might have London Fog. That has foam too.
Oh,
But oh yes, they do. But I was thinking of Copico candies too that they have, the coffee candies. Oh my gosh, they're in so many.
are those the ones in the push out little
Yes,
things? And they say you eat them for energy?
Sit there and have a short conversation about.
I think that you have a whole jar at home. We talked about this a little bit last time, but just a couple questions to wrap up our talk. So, what did you think of the soundtrack? Yay or nay?
Yay.
Yay.
Yay. Me too. Loved it so
Yes.
much. I don't know if I'll probably ask this question every time, but I don't think there will be a lot of nays because usually I love the music.
Mhm.
Okay. Out of 5 stars, what would you rate Business Proposal?
5.
5.
5.
Okay.
So it's been decided 5 out of 5 stars.
We love it. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Yeah.
You'll love it too.
Yes.
Hopefully you're not confused like we were. And you are better at recognizing people than we are.
Thank you for joining us on our podcast discussing Business Proposal. Drop us a comment and tell us how you would rate it and why. Join K-Drama Divas next week as we talk about one of our favorite K-dramas, Castaway Diva. Thanks for joining us on another episode of the K-Drama Divas podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode as much as we did. Before we part ways, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. Connect with us on social media at K-Drama Divas to stay up to date on recent podcasts and to share your thoughts and recommendations.